Spinderella all together again was amazing. Before I even get my other questions in, how did it feel to kind of be all back together again? I know that, as group members and as sisters, we come butt heads, may not see eye to eye. So how did it feel, despite the issues in the past? How was it reconciling with Spinderella and basking in that moment as a trio again?
Well, we have been back together. We did the Walk of Fame in 2023, I want to say, when we got our star. And we did Essence Fest together and a few other things. So I think the public is a little bit late on the back together thing. But it felt great just being honored, like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is like the ultimate, beside the Grammys, that you want to be at the end of your career. Not the end of our career, but you know what I'm saying. At the pinnacle of our career.
And I feel like, too, like you evolved, too, as sisters, too. So what are some of the new things that you guys are learning about each other at this time that you guys are just like, man, like, I wish we knew this back then, but I'm glad we know it now?
We're just learning how to communicate our emotions and our feelings better, because there could be a lot of misunderstandings. I'm from Bushwick, Brooklyn.
I'm from New York, so I get it.
You know what I'm saying? And Spinderella's from the Pink Houses, okay? So we got that whole Brooklyn thing. Sometimes we clash, but we're learning how to communicate and understand each other more.
I love that you also use your platform for justice, baby. Now, we still rooting for justice. We're rooting for you when it comes to UMG. Yes. I love the fact that Dow added that in the induction. When you think about what's going on right now with you guys, do you ever say to yourself, I'm happy that I'm putting this out there for the next person behind you?
Oh, yeah. Like when I got into this business, I was very aware of all the pitfalls. And I said that I would avoid, like, not paying my taxes, like being on drugs, you know what I'm saying? Suicide, all the things that come with being in this business. And so when it comes to boycotting, whether it's the Grammys because they weren't showing our category, or whether it's right now, the record companies because they're not giving us our just due. Spotify, I have new music. I'm not putting it on Spotify because they're supporting ICE. They're recruiting ICE. You know what I mean? So I'm like just in this era of my life where I'm like, I don't have nothing to prove. So I'm just going to keep fighting the good fight for myself and for everyone else. Thank you.
In moments where, like, sometimes you're punished for your voice, how do you encourage yourself and motivate yourself to continue to put yourself out there and say what you feel?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think you have to develop mental toughness. You have to be less sensitive. And there's voices that matter and there's voices that don't matter. And you got to know the difference.